Fine Music Breakfast with Annabelle Drumm.
And good morning. I hope you're enjoying the music and the fun stories on the BBC this morning. I'm Annabelle Drumm and we'll continue on with the music. But before we do, we have the weather report. First of all, it's 18 degrees in Sydney at the moment, looking for a high of 23. And in Penrith, it's 15 degrees, looking for a high of 27. It'll be partly cloudy today with some patchy fog in the west and a medium chance of showers through the day. Similar day tomorrow with slightly less chance of showers. Now, in the studio with me today, I've got an Australian pianist who is still young, but one of the most awarded competitive pianists that I've certainly found so far. He's won international piano competitions in Germany, China, Sweden, Geneva, and here in Australia as well. He's now a travelling concert pianist, previously featured with the BBC Philharmonic, the Brussels Philharmonic, and the Chinese National Ballet Orchestra. Flying through back home to Australia just for a short time, I would like to welcome Tony Lee.
Hello, Annabelle.
Hello, thank you so
lovely
much.
To be here.
Yeah, I'm pleased you're here. That's just lovely. You seem to be flying high and much in demand at the moment with your playing in all sorts of countries. Where have you liked travelling the most so far?
Well, definitely in Europe. I mean, everything's so... compared to Australia, everywhere is so within reach. You know, a train ride, a bus ride, by car, you can get everywhere, anywhere, just like that. But the past half a year I've been mainly based in China, and it's been really interesting. My background is Chinese, but I've never lived there, never studied there.
Have you lived here your whole life? Were you born here?
Yes, I was born and I raised, actually, yeah. I did my high school education in Moscow, but I came back for my bachelor's. So it's interesting. Yeah, it's a completely different world.
Very much a mix there. So how did you end up in Moscow?
It is. I don't quite remember, but according to my father, it went something along the lines of, "If I don't go, I'll stop playing piano."
So he moved you there?
No, I wanted to go.
Okay.
Apparently, I wanted to go. Yeah, so I stayed in the dormitories there. This was the Central Music School of the Tchaikovsky Conservatory, very well looked after, There was all the old ladies taking care of us, telling us when to get out of bed and
I was going to say very strict.
Very strict, but very fun, my goodness.
Oh, good. So they taught you good discipline, I guess.
Exactly, yes. Like the good old days. As they
preferably without the cane.
No.
No canes with old ladies?
No, not at all.
That's good. So then you came back to Australia and studied here, and then you've moved all around the place. So how did you get this competition series started? Because you seem to love your competitions.
I think most of quite to the contrary. I'm not quite a competition buff, perhaps, as I used to be. But when I was studying at the Con in Sydney, I was 18, 19, 20, wide-eyed, very ambitious. The Con was also very supportive, so I had a lot of time off to practice and whatnot, and so I could go on competitions, and I did a lot of that. But through that, I made a lot of connections. I was offered concerts. Locally, yes, in Europe, in different countries, and that kind of has stayed with me until now. So I haven't really felt the need to compete, although I did do the Sydney competition in 2016, which was very good for me. That's
when you won the Best Australian Pianist?
Yes, Best Australian Pianist, yes. And also the National Piano Award down in Shepparton. I think it came at a good time for me because I had been away from Australia for a while, so it was just kind of a step ladder for me to get back into the country, and people would remember me.
These awards, when you get these competitions, they seem to be a really good way to launch into a career, because people take them as a sort of a guideline as to, are you any good? People can say so many things or send a recording and you go, well, we don't know if that's the correct pianist, but these awards seem to be a good way to...
Well, yeah. I think they used to matter more. Nowadays it's only because we have a lot more competitions. We have a lot more prize winners. It's kind of, the scene is a bit diluted in that sense. But yeah, competitions I think are the best way, or a very good way, I could say, for young pianists to kind of build repertoire, build this kind of confidence. I'm going to go out there. I used to treat it like a music festival. You go for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. You had this very big, wide, broad repertoire range, and you just got to play it, and you just have to really
Under
be
pressure.
focused, under pressure, be focused, and do your best. And yeah, so in that case, in that sense, it has been very helpful for me. But I don't agree with the fact. I mean, people say competitions are the stepping way or stepstone to success. It's not. It's very rare.
Is that
Actually,
right?
that is the case because there are just so many competitions out there.
Right.
In the end, it really comes down to what you have to say, and how are you going to get that heard? How are you going to get that message across via different platforms, radio, internet, TV, whatever.
Do you find that when you're doing the competitions that what you have to say changes from one performance to the next?
I do find that I play differently in competitions as opposed to concerts, which is very strange. It shouldn't be the case, but
how does it change?
It has to be said, if you do enter a competition, you should know that you're being judged and that there is a panel of music experts judging you, listening to you. So that factor does come into play. You do have to be a bit more careful. You definitely need to be more lucid, more what you want to say has to be more planned. You know, how am I going to get this message across? In live concerts, a lot of it depends on the setting, the mood, the audience. If they're quiet, you can feel the energy sometimes, that they're really listening to you and that there's this connection. And, magical things happen.
So you change the dynamic of what you're doing.
And it's different because you're no longer worried about having to please or worrying about not playing the right notes. And things happen differently. But I know, of course, in competitions there have been moments where, you feel really great and you do completely outrageous things that you wouldn't have even thought of, and they end up working very well. So you do take a risk, but more
they're
often
a punch,
than not,
though, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to be confident in what you're doing to be able to do that.
You have to be really, you're in that moment and you feel, you're on top of the world and things happen. No, but it's a strange one.
Mm-hmm. Now, you've just spent 2 years up in working as the artist in residence for Chapelle Musicale Reine Elizabeth in Belgium, and you got to work with Maria Joao Pires.
Yes.
We use her all the time. We play her music quite a lot. What was that like, working with her? Was she your teacher, you were saying?
Yes, she was my teacher for 2 years, as you said, when I was a soloist in residence at the Chapelle Musicale Reine Elizabeth. This was in 2000.
You say that so much better than me.
You've
had more practice
it took a while.
than me.
It took a couple of years. This was in 2014, so I had graduated from the con in 2013. So this was almost immediately after, actually. Mm-hmm. Very interesting, very actually important concepts. She had this very unique way of approaching, you could say. Wow, there's so much.
Is it just more to do with her personality?
It's three main things. It's her approach to the piano, your connection with the instrument. It has to be one. She's a very small lady, got very small hands, but she's very close to the instrument, very intimate. So the instrument responds in a very, very special way when she's at the piano. The second thing is how you relate to the score, the music itself. She thinks that a lot of the focus nowadays in piano playing is more on the intellectual or the analysis or the kind of the thinking part, and that's all very well.
As opposed to the emotional side of things?
As well, what she likes to focus on is really, feeling and getting into the whole, what this music is about, and that can only be done, I think, through experiencing. After I, went to study with her, I had a great opportunity to travel with her, also to rehearse with her, and even to perform and play with her. She was on tour all the time, and she didn't have time to see us for lessons. So we'd travel with her. We went to.
Great idea.
She was playing in Israel, in all the great halls in Berlin, in Concertgebouw in Amsterdam, in Japan. I was with her for a whole month, and seeing how this approach to performing, it's her sound reference, changes in every different case. Even it's a small dry hall or a big kind of boomy acoustic. So that's the third thing. It's also sound reference. a very good
So she taught
ear.
you about that too, or the
Yeah.
fact that you picked up on that.
Yeah.
Was
I
she
mean,
speaking it, or do you think this was just sort of
exactly.
unconscious
She doesn't really
sort of
talk
thing?
about it because
Right.
she I
So you
mean,
picked up by
you
observing.
have all these kind of conversations with her and you observe and then you see, actually, that's what it's about.
Right. It's probably so it's unconscious competency, isn't it? That's when you
yeah.
Wonderful. Let's have a listen to one of her pieces. This is one of Schubert's impromptus, the number 3. And that was the most beautiful impromptu number 3, D899 by Schubert, performed by Maria Joël Pires, the teacher of Tony Lee, who I'm interviewing right here at Fine Music 102.5. So, Tony, this amount of travel that you're doing at the moment is amazing. Are you happy in living out of a suitcase wherever you go?
I'm quite used to it. It's very funny. A friend asked me, I said I'm moving places, and he laughed at me. I said, why are you laughing? He said, you've got 2 suitcases. I said, yes, exactly. So I feel like I'm moving a lot. I've never really had a really permanent base since I started uni. So it has its perks. Yeah, not
Keeps things efficient.
Yeah, not a lot of baggage, literally. But it's good. But it does get can be very tiring also.
Yes.
But I'm very lucky. I take working and traveling as I take holidays, so it goes hand in hand.
And how long have you been here in Australia so far?
It's been a week already, 2 weeks already, coming up to 2 weeks. So I'll be here this weekend for the concerts at the Concourse in Willoughby. In Chatswood Concourse.
With the Willoughby Symphony.
That's right. Then I'll be in Melbourne for a week next week, and then I'm off to China again, and then Europe after that.
Lovely. And Hong Kong, I think you said,
Yes,
wasn't
and
it?
Hong Kong. That's right.
Fabulous. So let's have a look at the concerts that you're doing. So it's the Bravura concert with the Willoughby Symphony with Nicholas Milton as well. Have you worked with him before?
I haven't with Maestro Milton, but I have a lot of friends that have, and they've said wonderful things. I'm
very musical.
Really looking forward.
Yes, it's wonderful. Now, some of the program includes Zoltán Kodály's Galanta dances, and then you're performing Liszt's Piano Concerto number 2.
That's right.
Then after that is Brahms' Symphony. I think it's number 4, isn't it?
Number 4. It's a huge program.
And so it starts tomorrow, Saturday, 21st September at 7 o'clock in the evening. And then there's a matinee on Sunday afternoon as well. And we have a double pass to give away here. So if you're interested in getting a double pass to see Tony Lee with the Willoughby Symphony and Nicholas Milton conducting, you can give us a call at 9439 4777 and say that you're interested in seeing Tony Lee at the concert. Either that, or you can go onto our website, finemusicfm.com, and fill in the contact form there. Make sure that you give us your name, your address, and your phone number so we can get back in touch. That double pass will be drawn just after 9 o'clock when the receptionist gets here. So this sounds like a wonderful concert. Again, that is tomorrow night, 7 p.m, and Sunday at 2 p.m. at the Concourse. And you can get your tickets through the Concourse, either that or go into the draw for the double pass. Thank you so much for coming in today, Tony.
It's my pleasure. Thank you.